Hey, what's going down guys? Vindil here, and today I'm bringing you another destruction guide for a Warlock in patch 5.4, the Siege of Grimoire. This is actually a remake of my last guide for a destruction Warlock because I missed out a few things and some people complained, so I took all your comments into account. Thanks so much for leaving those for me. You know, I do look at them all the time, even if I don't reply to every single one of them, which I try to do. You know, I do read them all because they go straight to my phone, and so I read every single comment and I see when people subscribe. So a big thank you to all the people that have subscribed lately. We just hit 15 subscribers. That may not seem like a lot, but I've only been doing this for a few weeks now, and that's a really big number. I've been getting an average of like 2 or 3 a day, so that's really great, and I'm really happy about that. So let's get into this. I'm not great with reforging and gemming, so I've got an add-on for that. It's called Ask Mr. Robot, and it's also a website that accompanies that, which is called AskMrRobot.com. When you go on that website, it will it's basically you load up your armory page by adding all your information there. So it'll ask you your realm, your character name, and then your what sort of region you're on. So if you're on EU or if you're on US, and then you just put that in. It should load up your armory page, and then you click optimize, and it will cover all your gear. And if it's green, then you need to change it. And if there's no little overlay thing on there, you'll know what I'm talking about when you're there. If there's no overlay on it, it means it's perfect and you don't need to change anything. So that's really simple, and it will allow you to import all the stuff from that website into the add-on right here. If you use the import tab, you just copy and paste the information it gives you, and then it will come up with your gems that you need, your enchants you need, and the reforges to do. And the reforge tab is really good because you can go to the reforge vendor and this will come up, and then you click reforge, which will be a button around here, and it will automatically reforge your gear for you. So that's a really good way to get your stuff done really easily and for the best price as well. But I do recommend with the gems, sometimes it can glitch, so maybe ask another Warlock for a second opinion, or go to a website like noxic.com just for a second opinion. It doesn't usually get it wrong, but sometimes it can happen. So let's get into this. Your DPS rotation for a destruction Warlock is actually really simple. There's nothing too hard about it, and you get a bunch of crits. So when you start out your DPS rotation, you're going to want to use Curse of the Elements, then pop Terror Guard, then use Double Conflag or Immolate. You can use that in whatever order you want. It's best to go Immolate first, then Double Conflag, but it doesn't matter. And then you just spam 6 Incinerates. As you're incinerating, you want to reuse your Immolate at some point because it will be ticking down. It will probably tick off the boss if you don't. And then when you hit 4 Burning Embers, you're going to want to use Dark Soul Instability and then 4 Chaos Bolts. The reason for this is your Dark Soul Instability increases the damage done, increase your critical strike chance by 30%, and because your Chaos Bolt works off your critical strike chance, it does 30% more damage. So for 4 Chaos Bolts, you're doing 30% more damage, and that's really good to use. And so that's basically your rotation. There's nothing else to throw in there. You just use Curse the Elements whenever it's about to tick off, use Immolate whenever it's about to tick off, and just from there you just use Conflag and Incinerate. The only difference there is when the boss gets below, I think it's 20% health, you use Dark Soul and Shadow Burn instead. Don't worry if you hit 4 Burning Embers and you don't have a Dark Soul, just keep using your Chaos Bolts anyway, just like normal, but without the Dark Soul. So it's a really simple rotation, and in a minute I'll show you a quick little clip of me doing my DPS rotation, and you can see how much DPS I do, and there won't be me talking over that because I did want to get super into this DPS guide and I just went ham on this Raiders target dummy. But when you are doing DPS on a target dummy, you want to remember that your DPS you do is 24% lower because you've only got your single target buffs. What am I on about? You've only got the one person buff. So I've only got Dark Intent, whereas if I was in a raid, I'd have Blessing of Kings and all that juicy stuff. So my DPS is actually 24% lower. So I'll show you now the clip of me DPSing, then after that we'll talk about talents and glyphs. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Hey, welcome back guys. Now you can see how much DPS you can do as a Destruction Warlock in patch 5.4. I think it was somewhere around the 104 or 3k region. I recorded that last night because, as you can see, I'm not even in Undercity at this point, I'm in Shrine. And so at this point now in the guide we're going to go on about talents, and the talents you're going to want to select is Soul Leech, because that little passive the passive shield you get, especially with all the Chaos Bolts and stuff we're throwing off, is absolutely crazy. You can stack that up so high, and it's one of the best things I think we have. Then Mortal Coil, you're going to want to go with that because it restores 15% of your maximum health, and if a boss is doing loads of damage to you, it's a really quick way to help out your healers. Sacrificial Pact is another great shield, so you don't have to have a Soul Leech because you do have Sacrificial Pact. But Soul Leech is still very good accompanying it because, you know, then you've got 2 shields up instead of just 1. Next, go for Burning Rush, because if you need to get across a large platform, you're going to be able to do it really easily, as long as you inform your healers that you're taking 4% of your maximum health every second. So you may want to tell them that so they can heal you up. Next, go for Grimoire Supremacy. The reason for that is because you're going to want to use the Observer, and it does 20% more damage than your Fellhound would. Then finally go for Archimonde's Darkness. There's a little bit of controversy over this, you know, if you want to use Killjaden's Cunning or if you want to use Archimonde's Darkness. And I personally, for Archimonde's Darkness, I feel, and I stand by this point 100%, that it does more DPS for a Destruction Warlock than having Killjaden's Cunning. Although on certain bosses, you know, you may be running around and you won't be able to throw off Incinerate. I tend to throw off Fell Flames anyway, so I'm still getting my Burning Embers and stuff like that, and I've never really found it that much of an issue, because I've never seen a boss where you're running around for the whole fight. But if there is one, then you're going to want to go with Killjaden's Cunning. So it's always nice to have some of those tomes with you so you can swap around your talents if need be. Because, you know, talents are usually very situational. Next, we're going to go on about Glyphs. Go with Glyph of Demon Training, because the little passive heal from your Observer's Clone of Magic. Shouldn't that be Cone of Magic? I don't even know anymore. Next, go for Glyph of Healthstone, which does 100% more healing received from your Healthstone, and that really helps out your healers. Then finally, go for Glyph of Siphon Life, or if you don't want that, I recommend going for Glyph of Soulstone, so you have a really good combat res, as it resurrects someone with your Soulstone back to 100% HP. So that's pretty much it for this guide, guys. If you think I've missed anything out, or you think that someone else needs to be included in this guide, or you have any concerns about your Warlock and you'd like to ask me something, then don't hesitate to leave a comment below. If you really enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more content from me.